You ready to run?
I know, man. I hate starting.
I know, exactly. I could tell he's like still adjusting. Like, all right, let's do it. I do the same shit.
First public pod, you know?
Okay.
People walking around.
Yes,
I'm like,
sir.
yo, what's going on
What's
around
that
here?
Experience?
This is the Mulberry Podcast, episode 56.
Wow.
I'm with a a longtime friend that I just met today, man.
Yes, sir. Friends for like 7 years.
My man, Marc Bravo.
Yes,
How
it's
you
a
doing,
pleasure
bro?
to be here. I'm doing well. We are here at House of Herbs on Georgia Ave in D.C. It's a tea and herbal shop. We give cannabis as well. They're the official sponsor now of Marc Bravo and Creative House. And I'm just glad to have my first sponsor ever here. Mulberry Dreams.
Mulberry Dreams, man.
Yes, my first sponsor ever in like 2016. Sent me a couple of t-shirts. I thought I was the man, you know, and slowly kept becoming the man.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, man.
Here in Washington, D.C., yeah?
Yes,
That's
sir.
my first time out here.
Yes,
so,
sir. I'm glad it could be your first, man. Pop your DC cherry.
Right. So you're from Bowie, Maryland. How far is that from here?
Bowie's about 40 minutes from here.
40 minutes?
About 40, yep.
Because we were talking about how everything's pretty relatively close. I mean, we're Cali boys, so everything's kind of like out the way, you know?
Everything's far. I'm like, for me to go to Philly, it's 2 hours. It sounds like a long-ass drive to me, but that's like going
That's
to
a
see
light
your friend.
drive.
Exactly, right. Yep, that's crazy.
Yeah, because this was a 7-hour drive, man. We drove all the way out here. I've been meaning to get out here. Like I said, we go back. Man, I'm going to start from the beginning, bro.
Yeah, let's do it.
You know?
Let's do it.
2014, right? I'm in college.
Okay.
And I'm on the bus. I was on the track team out there at Utah State.
I didn't know you did track. Wow.
Yeah.
Huh.
So I'm out there. I'm on the way to the airport. We're going to a track meet.
Okay.
And I had this little app called Spinrilla.
Spinrilla. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So I used to just listen to music like on the back of the bus all the time. Like I didn't really like talk to that many people like that. I would just, I would listen to so much music, and I came across this tape called The Black Tape.
Wow.
By Marc Bravo.
The Black Tape. That's a classic right there.
Right?
Yep.
So I start playing it,
wow.
and this song comes on. I think it was like track, 3 or 4 or something. It was called Eye to Eye.
Oh, yes. Eye for an Eye.
Or Eye for an Eye.
Eye for an Eye.
Yeah.
To this day, one of my favorite songs.
Dude.
I don't know what I was
just
on.
hits, bro. The beat just started hitting, right? And I'm like, who is this, dude? And I instantly just became a fan. Wow. And I was like, at the time when I listen to music like that, I think like, these guys are like I could never reach out or like talk to, people who make music. Because at that time, that's just what I thought. People who made music they're like unreachable.
Exactly.
There,
Yep. Same here.
So I remember I went on Twitter and I found I think your Twitter was on the app or whatever.
I made sure we put it in like the banner. Because we got like the up top banner on Spinrilla.
Yeah, so I followed you and I shouted you out, and then you followed me back and you're real appreciative and stuff like that. And that was kind of a first for me, like, because I would post stuff and like tag artists and stuff, but nobody would say anything back. So that was like the first time, and I was like, oh, what the hell? And then dude, we just started, I think I DM'd you, and I told you, keep doing your thing, and I fuck with your music, all that and stuff. Yep. And then we kind of started talking, and I think at the time you were going to college as well.
Yeah, that's why, I went to Eastern Shore, and that was my first time really venturing off by myself, really. I'm away from my group because I was in the Scumbag Boys when he originally met me. Yeah. Yeah,
and then, so that's how we kind of, started our friendship or whatever. And throughout the years, we just kept in touch, and then I started doing the Mulberry Dream stuff, and then we got we linked in a little bit more with all that and stuff.
Exactly.
And then
yep.
It just ever since I've been wanting to come out here. I mean, it was far from California, and that's honestly why one of the moves when I was thinking about moving to Knoxville, it was a lot closer to a lot of people that I knew and wanted to come out and visit, some people in Florida. And then, the DMV area, I know actually quite a few people through you now. Okay. So that was,
that's fire.
That's exciting, man.
Yeah, when I first saw your page, to even see California, that's a dream for us out here. Back at that age, you feel like you're supposed to build up some hype at home and then move to California, and then it just all works out. That's kind of what we were thinking. So for you to reach me up and to know that my Spinrilla feature was able to bring me like actual like fans and like I could see it in real form, that was really dope, man. And you just always show love. We were supposed to come there for an actual show, and you were like, I'm there. Whenever y'all pull up, I'm there. Show ended up getting canceled, but it's like for you to even pull up 7 hours, man, to interview me, I'm forever appreciative, man.
Absolutely.
For all your support. For
yeah,
sure.
yes, sir. Thank
yes,
you.
sir. Yeah.
But we're gonna definitely do, you know, in the future stuff. We'll be able to link up more now and all that.
That's the beginning.
But so let's kind of start from the beginning, from that point, because I feel like a lot of people might not really know. I mean, your peoples know for sure, but
yeah, a lot of them don't though.
Like back then, you know, you were doing the Scumbag Boys stuff, and
yes, sir.
How did that all like come about? How that group start, and how many like of there were you?
Wow. Okay.
Or of you were there, Jesus?
I love to talk about it because people only really interview me about like things that happened like the last 2-3 years of my career.
That's why I was excited for this.
Yeah, I'm like, it's so much that happened before. Y'all have no clue. It's been 12 years of this. So the Scumbag Boys, Zachary and I found his. He had a song called Maryland Kids that he did under a bridge in LA, and it's like the first black kid I saw to have a video full of Hispanics. And he's like the only black kid, and they're like vibing, smoking, and I was like, this is different. And it's like he sounded like Mac Miller, like along that wave, like Mac Miller, Schoolboy Q, and that's my wavelength. And in the DMV, you hear a lot of trap music, so we vibrated towards each other. And back then, he wasn't Zachary, he was Izzy Vegetables, and the group was called the Izzies.
Oh, okay.
It was Izzy Vegetables, Izzy Fruit, Izzy Yin, Izzy Cat. Like it was like a good like 7 of us. 7 of them, and I ended up linking up with him to do one song. Marcus Washington, this is a funny story. Marcus Washington, we were 14. Marcus Washington had his permit, and Marcus Washington ended up doing like designs for like IDK and becoming some of the bigger artists like Fame Reek in the area. And we were 14, and he had his permit, and his dad left for the day, and he ended up like, hey, you trying to drive to Zachary's house and like make a song together? I think y'all would make a dope song together. And I'm like, that's cool. So he literally took his dad's car. We have no license, and we're just driving out here to go meet Zach. And we get there safe, and I meet Zach in his basement. We do a song called Testimony.
Okay.
And Marcus Washington makes the cover, and we ended up dropping this song. And that's a shout out to M Wash, because he kind of curated me and Zach even meeting each other in the first place. He's the reason we met. And from that we made a song called Testimony, and from there we dropped the song. I kept hanging out with them, going to the studio with them, and before you knew it, I was like one of the leaders in the group, just through talent, because I was the youngest one, but they really saw my talent really before I saw it. So a lot of my jobs at the beginning was just to like kind of curate verses and curate songs for the group, because I could make a cohesive song that we could actually like tour and sell and put into like movies. That was kind of my role of just learning how to make things cohesively. So that's what ended up happening, and because it was just me and Zach, we wanted to be able to grow something that we can actually utilize, where it's a team, where we had so it was about 10 to 12 Scumbag members. We had Izzy Yin, he was the only other rapper for real. We had Pootie, he was the investor. He used to do things around the way that we saw his potential and how he could make money. Big Dog was a rapper and security. So we had Big Dog, he was a scum, and if anyone got out of hand, he's throwing you off the stage. Meerkat was our driver, and she would take us anywhere. Well, she would let us use her car. Anything we need, she sits in the passenger seat looking pretty, and as long as we smoke her up the whole time, she's cool. We could drive her car anyway. So once we picked up Meerkat, that's when we started going on tour, man, and we went to Drexel, performed at College Park, performed at Milk Boy. We were at the first Mink Lounge in DC. Like it was, we started really actually touring, and I'm 15.
Like I'm 15,
16. That's what I'm saying. Wow. I'm still in high school, and I think they're like all 1 year out. So of course my parents are just like, who's this group of dudes you're with? They're called the Scumbag Boys. But like I knew what I was doing. I knew it was like a stepping stone to really get to where I needed to go. And they were the only people in the DMV with resources, because there's no industry or label here really.
Okay.
In the DC, Maryland area and Virginia. So there's the only people that we were shining over everyone, because we had pieces to the puzzle. We had someone to just do our social media, someone to just give us rides, someone to pull up and make sure we have like snacks and drinks and like liquor before our show. So we were the first actual like team, I would say, here around the time of No Stalling. So that's kind of like the story of the Scumbag Boys, of how we came together.
So how'd the name Scumbag Boys come about? If it was, like, was it Izzy Vegetables before, or that was
it
what
was the
he was?
Izzy's. Yeah, and I was gonna be Izzy Bravo.
Okay.
And one day, and this is me coming into it, so I didn't really have much say. But one day they decided we're gonna be the Scumbag Boys, and I'm like, I rock with it because even though I wouldn't consider myself a scumbag, I know the shock value in it, and the meaning that we had behind it was more of like people look at us and may think we're scumbags because we have dreads and tattoos and we smoke and everything, but really, we're progressive people, and once you get to know us, you'll realize scumbags is actually a positive movement.
Right.
Yep.
Because that's when when I started listening, you guys were playing, or I was listening to like Bipolar.
Wow.
And like those ones like that.
I remember that studio session of Bipolar. Wow. That was one of the best studio sessions ever.
Yeah,
we had some Blue Dream,
bro.
And we all just smoked outside, and then we went in and Zachary just plays this beat, and we're like, oh
yeah, that
shit,
beat's hard,
you gotta do this, bro. He rapped like 5 minutes on there. So dope.
That's awesome, man.
Uh-huh.
So going back a little farther, when you were younger, what like how'd you get into wanting to like make music? What was like your inspiration or artists that you listened to that maybe wanted to start making your own music?
Got you. So because I had kind of strict parents, they would only really let me listen to like artists my age at first, around my age. So I would listen to like Lil Romeo, Lil Bow Wow, Lil I Rock Williams. He was like the gospel version of him. Lil I Rock Williams, if you're seeing this, bro, I was listening to you. Sammy, like all of those type of artists. So I would listen to kid artists, and I'm just like, well, why the fuck am I not doing this? Like they're my age, so where do they start, so I figured I was going to start right then and there, and I was just I wanted to be a child star. I saw like not only the glitz and glam, but like the intellect of these kids and how they could understand marketing at such a young age. So that just always intrigued me. I wanted to be like the coolest guy, of course, like everyone does at that age. So yeah, rapping was my thing, and then my uncle really got me into it by influencing me as well with Rockefeller. He was the biggest Rockefeller fan ever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a whole bunch of posters of Jay-Z, Petey Crack, Beanie Siegel all on his wall. So I was like, oh yeah, if you look up to them, I want to be who you would look up to.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So is that where like your rap style, what do you think your rap style inspiration came from? Because I was telling him, Trev, like the content you rap about, like it ain't about like, you ain't rapping like, oh no, like, beam me up, it's like type
exactly,
shit,
yeah. That's just not me. Like I didn't grow up in that environment. Like
right.
I don't feel the need to fake it. I'd rather just talk about what I know, and because no one knows my life better than me.
Exactly.
And I think that's what people mistake. They want to like grab someone else's perspective that worked, but it's like your perspective will work too. You just got to like make it work for yourself. So that was like as far as me is with my style. I would say I got influenced more by like Erykah Badu's, Q-Tips, Dilla's before I even heard gangster rap. Like that's what I heard first, and that shit made me feel good, bro. I like music that makes me feel good. I don't want to I don't like negative frequency music. Not that it's anything negative about it. That's just not where I'm at. I want to like have a good day today.
Right. So you've never had like any problem at all with your rap style, even if it might not be like the trend or whatever. You were always comfortable with just being yourself, or did you have like a kind of a issue with that? Maybe
I did. The Black Tape was kind of around that time where it's like I'm in the studio with all hood niggas that live in the same size house as me.
Right.
It's kind of weird, It's just like, why is this y'all culture if we live in such a nice area? So it was conflicting for me. I tried to make a couple of trap songs, but you gotta remember too, I was like curating songs for everybody.
Right.
So like I'm still making trap songs even though it's not my music. And so I learned how to do it. I can do it effectively, but once I tried it with my sound, I lost a couple of fans, or a couple of fans was just like, hey, you don't have to like sound like them because you're with them. And that really hit me hard.
Right.
So I ended up going back, especially around the end of the Scumbag Boys, just getting back to like feel good, neo soul, lo-fi type of music.
Okay.
That's where I fit.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to ask, because the Black Tape was definitely it's a lot different from what you do now. And I like wanted to know your headspace back then, because like when that was my first like exposure to you. So I'm like, oh, this dude's hard, like he's tough, like like it just, you came with that like right away. And that's like so I was just curious, because now I love like your music now and that whole vibe. Like Dude, like when I
Thank you.
sent you that message, like I was just like walking my dog, like your song comes on, bro, and it's just like, I don't know, it makes me feel good. Like you said, it's that feel good music for sure.
I appreciate that, man. Definitely a conflicting time for me. And because I still wanted to keep my art side, so I was like, I'm going to come out with artsy trap. And that's what the black tape was.
Hey, no lie.
Was
You
artsy
could do
trap.
it, though.
Yo,
you could do it,
and that's a lot of people say that's what works for me. But I don't want to be a big artist. I want to be a more of a comfortable artist, to where I can like more of like a currency lane, to where I can just tour a couple times a year, just have good vibes, man, meet people, smoke on some. I don't have to bring security everywhere with me.
Right.
That's where I don't care to make the most effective thing, but just the most thing that makes sense for me. Yep.
That's awesome. When it comes to especially moving around the city, moving around anywhere, when you put that energy out, even if it's in music, like you kind of have to, you might have to expect that.
Yeah, you gotta live it. Yeah.
Even if you ain't even about it. So that's what gets scary is when you do that. People, like I said, when I first heard you, that was the black tape. So it was a lot like harder like the music was different then.
Facts.
That was what I thought.
Exactly right.
So people who don't know the person personally, when they hear a song, that's what they expect when they see them.
Exactly.
And they might not even be on that.
Right.
They're just doing it because it's the cool thing to do, or
Boom.
the easy move.
Exactly. And I didn't want to have to walk around with like a mask on my whole career of this, who y'all think I am, you know?
Yeah.
When I'm really just a chill dude. So that's what I decided to do, was just more go that route, bro. And I'm thankful for it now, because I don't have to fake. I can just be Marc Bravo.
Right.
And people like my style, man. So I love it. It took me a long time. Like this was a style not everyone would really like that first. And I just finally found the sonically pleasing lane for it, and it makes me so happy, because I always looked up to like I said, Dilla's, Erykah Badu's, Jill Scott. So it's like when people compare me to like a male version of Erykah Badu now, like I love that. Like I like that more than like, you're the next P.D. Crack or Jay-Z or like Chief Keef. Like that's cool, but that's just not me, bro. And it's like I could fight my ass off. I'm a black belt, I'm a boxer, but like for me, I don't feel never need to prove myself. I don't own guns. Like that's just not me. Yeah, like maybe eventually, but yeah. So I like to live as myself.
And just be comfortable in
your
own city.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. That's the whole kill. Because a lot of people had to leave. A lot of people feel like, oh, I hate this person, they left. But like a lot of people had to leave, because they have like city beefs. And if they stay around, like you see what happens to rappers sometimes that stay around.
Most die in their own city.
Yes.
That's where most of your hate comes from.
Exactly. So I want to be able to leave and come as I go.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because especially I never been here. This is the first time meeting, so obviously when I'm driving up here,
right,
I'm a little a little nervous at first. But I just trusted from the long friendship we've had,
right,
and just how you move, everything I see, just all the positive energy. I was like, bro, it's gonna like everything's cool, bro.
Yeah, bro, you're cool.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So
yeah, I understand.
You
I
definitely
wanted to
give
ask
off that.
too.
What are you gonna ask?
Nah, your perspective, like driving into DC today. Like, what did you like the scenery?
I did, man. I did.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
There ain't shit in Virginia. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that whole drive through there,
not at all. Only at the part close to DC. That's it.
Exactly.
Yep.
So
yeah.
It was cool because I'm with my cousin Trev. We grew up together.
Yeah, shout out Trev, man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming through, man.
Over there doing some artwork.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yo,
he be low key with it. He be low key, a little introvert over there.
For sure. Holla at Trev in 5 years for your artwork, man. He's gonna be crazy. He's putting in that work right now.
I'm about to air you. I want to air you out so bad what you're working on, but I'm not gonna say it. I won't. Oh man, but yeah. So I love to just moving out here. Like I just love to travel and see the new places, new side of the country, man. It was cool, and it is it's exciting just seeing like all new experiences and stuff, and especially because I know people out here know you,
right?
And it was just a good reason to come out here, and I was really excited for it, man.
Hell yeah!
I was nervous. I get nervous for all my pods. I ain't gonna lie, and I was like, man, it might be in a public setting, but it's all good, bro. We're just gonna do it.
Exactly, bro. Everything we do is always gonna feel good, bro. It's gonna be new, but it's gonna be cool, man, and interesting.
So you work on a lot more things than just music.
Yes, sir.
So I guess we can maybe get into the Creative House DMV. Is that what it's called?
Yes, sir. Creative House DMV.
So what exactly is that? When did that start? What idea did you have behind that? What was the purpose behind that?
Good question. I like these mics, man. I like that I can just.
Well, usually I have it on the table,
like,
but
yeah, I like
it's
this
cool
stuff.
like this.
I can just hold it like a bowl of soup. But
just serve it. Let's
exactly,
hear it.
yo. So
you gotta do a song like this, bro. You gotta
yeah,
like,
just rap like this the whole time. I fuck with that. But yeah, so Creative House was all right. So once I left the Scumbag Boys, literally 6 months later, and it's crazy how life like shifts you and moves things away for your next season. I got my first like actual record deal offer because we had a fake one from Australia with the Scumbag Boys.
What do you mean fake? Hold up.
Yeah, so I can get into that first.
Okay. Yeah, because of what? So yeah, let's do that because we skipped a couple years. I feel like.
Yeah, facts. Yeah.
So you're in the Scumbag Boys, and then what kind of started turning, or did you feel like you wanted to do your own thing, or what happened with all that?
Yeah, I went to college, and I went to college, and Zach went to LA. And through that, you know, we're just around two completely different environments. I'm learning how to like pace myself and plan for 10 years, where it's like he's trying to make it tomorrow. Right. And I think that's kind of the biggest difference that came between us. Nothing wrong with either of those styles, but we just had completely different styles. And I'm like, okay, I'm learning how to do this the actual right way. I'm getting a marketing degree, so I'm starting to see all the shit I'm doing wrong, all the shit I could be doing better. And it's like to explain it to 10 other people is kind of hard, so we got to a point where I became the biggest artist on campus from everything I was learning. I even like experimented with my marketing with you and certain things, and got to a point where I graduated, and that's when me and Zach got into it once he got back from LA. Wish him the best, but I decided it was time for me to see what Marc Bravo could do. Ended up 6 months later I got my record deal offer from AMG, but before that record deal offer, the first one me and Zach got when we were in college was from Australia. Out Here Ballin' Records, or Out Here Ballin' Entertainment by Bentley. I'm gonna run into Bentley one day because that's just how life works. Right. But this dude offered us a record deal. Shout out to my man Stefan. He still works with them a little bit, but they offer like 5 of us record deals, and all of them live in Australia. Me and Zach live here. And they offered us something, and they sent us the whole contract, and he said, change anything you want. And that's when I knew he wasn't expecting us to read shit. Once I read it with my attorney, he told us the things we should change. I send it back to him. I never hear from him again. He wasn't having it. I never hear from him again. I'm like, wow. And it was like shit that was like, no matter what, if he makes me money or not, I still owe him for every penny he spent times such and such for the next like 5 years after. Like, it was just stupid. It's like, bro, you should get a percentage of what you're making me, not just like me pay you for your attempt. I can attempt. So yeah, that's what happened then. And then so I finally got my first real record deal offer from AMG. Shout out to Brady. We got my first big show coming up. We've been together for like 2 years. And then transitioning into that was when I wanted to leave before I took off, because I could have took off when I first signed. But I wanted to be patient, pace myself, and understand that your city means a lot to your legacy, your hometown, and how they think of you, how they perceive you. It really means a lot to your legacy, because when it's all said and done, you want to be able to come home. You want to be able to give back. You want to be able to do stuff and see your family without like looking over your shoulder. So I decided there's a lot of creatives here, and before I leave, I understand the DMV is in a sense next. If you stay around here for like 2 months, you'll see what I mean. We have the most talent. Literally, and that's when like me and Zach are like 15. Like when you find us, like we have the most talent, and I've had record label execs come here and tell me this. We have the most talent in the world in this area.
So let me ask you a question.
No industry though.
Yeah. So why do you think that is then? Because I don't get that. Because there's so much from around here. Mm-hmm. It is crazy.
So, Young Thug, prime example. Before he leaves Atlanta, or never really left Atlanta in general, like he's gonna make sure he brings like 3 successors behind him. He's gonna have a label. He's gonna have like producers. He's gonna have things there that are like Young Thug branded, right? 2 Chainz branded, T.I. branded, the Trap House. You know what I'm saying? Like there's things like that. Like if I had to give Atlanta for an example, and the DMV, like every star we have, they get to a point where they're just like, well, y'all didn't really fuck with me like that. I had to grind so much harder than anyone who was anywhere else. So they just kind of move on with their career and don't even really talk about where they're from. Like a lot of people don't know Logic's from here, IDK's from here, Rico Nasty's from here,
Isn't Wale from
Genuine, here? Wale. Like, it's a lot. Yeah, Wale's from here.
Shy Glizzy.
Shy Glizzy's from here. Gold Link. Like, there's a lot of people. Brent Fayez is from Baltimore.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like there's Ari Lennox from around here too. Like, there's a lot of people that are from here, and you just wouldn't understand because they, one, don't rep it, and two, they didn't leave anything here with their name on it that we can really like contribute to them. Like, this is the such and such center, or this is like what Wale came back and like left. You know, I think IDK is the first one really doing it, throwing the community events, and you know, Made in the DMV is another one here that's like doing record label stuff. But
why do you think that is though? Do you think because it is so competitive, people feel like when they get out of there, they just want to? I don't know, man, because you know, people. So there's a lot of people like that. Like, they blow up and they don't really want to bring anyone with them who could potentially take their spot.
Right.
And there is a lot of talent here. It's actually insane.
It's not enough money though. That's the thing, because it's not enough fans. Everyone's an artist here. That's the issue. Everyone's a creative. Everyone's an artist, so they don't feel like they should be able to give you their all support because they want support.
Right.
That's kind of like how it is. So it's like, people don't understand, if we're gonna all be artists, we all have to be the fans too, and we all have to be the whole industry. So that's why I don't just make music. I contribute to the DMV as a whole.
Right. So that's how you combat that.
Yes. And if everyone starts to move that way, the whole world's going to see it, because it's undeniable. We just haven't been able to package it in a point where the whole world's like, okay, this is DMV. Like, this is what it is, besides the DMV flow and go-go music.
Right.
Yep. So I think a culture of love and a culture of understanding that we have to move like Atlanta in order to be Atlanta. We have to move like LA in order to be LA, or New York. And a lot of people complain about it, but I was like one of the first in IDK as well to really come through and just put in the work, the different work, and people can see it, and it's been growing beautifully, bro. And we're actually starting to have industry here, and it's crazy. Like, I'm kind of one of the founding fathers.
That's awesome.
Sense.
Yeah.
It's dope.
It's funny because even like in LA, like with like Bloods and Crips, like if there's a rapper who's repping a certain gang, if they're really good, the other gangs, dudes still like fuck with them as an artist.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
They like put it all to the side and go like, dude, you're dope.
Yep. And they make sure he's also not still in the street. Every one of our Fat Trail, Big Flock, like, these will be stars if they weren't going back to jail. Cue the Fools.
Is it Young Gleesh from here too?
Young Gleesh is from here, bro. And it's like,
shout out Gleesh.
They still, it's like these niggas gangs still got them in the street. Like, bro, this is the meal ticket. What is wrong with y'all, bro?
Yeah, take care of your meal.
Yeah, bro. Like, they should have some type of big homie that's just like, because I know people gonna do what they want to do, but it's like, when you have that, when you in LA, bro, you're not about to do what you want to do. Like, if your big homies,
like, you got managers and stuff telling you, like, dude.
Yeah, like, they talking to you different. Like, that's how like Young Thug got Lil Baby to go home, just giving him $20,000 to go home. But we don't have like $20,000 in street money here. Like, so I think it's a lack of money here. Yep. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So with all that kind of makes perfect sense. Just you rolling right into the Creative House DMV.
Yes.
So now,
perfect. Cool.
We can talk about that, because that's interesting, man. And I've never ever seen somebody just really want to just start from the ground up like that. Like, you're deeply rooted here just from everything you've done.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah. Once I signed the AMG, I was like, all right, I want to give something to the DMV. A couple things before I feel like I want to take off. And Creative House was one of them. It was an idea I had to have a media film production company, and started off being a reality TV show where we put 12 artists in a house. I put out a call for it. We got 200 submissions, and I picked my 12, put them in a house, gave them everything they needed as far as videographer, photographer, chef, so they wouldn't have to leave for food, makeup artists, studio, whatever you need, you name it, it's podcast there, everything. So we gave them 72 hours and was just like, all right, look, y'all got 2 full days, and then we have one last day where y'all can just have fun, and we're going to pick the winner. 2 full days to create the best content you can make using all the resources that we have here. And it was beautiful. Like, for me, I felt a lot of people feel like it would have took like 6 months to a year to plan this thing, but I had the idea in January, and we were filming it at the house in April. Yeah, it was
pretty quick. Yeah.
So it was done being filmed in April, but then it took a year for the shit to get edited and have everything approved and get it approved by my label too. So it was a lot to actually bring the show out. and that's why I realized what type of work goes into post-production. But the pre-production was easy, bro. And a lot of people think my label do a lot for me. Really, they do like 10%, and they get mad at me for really because I'm like I just like to do everything on my own, bro. Like that's just been it's always been me.
You're like you're making us look useless. What are you doing?
That's
like,
in
let
a
us
sense
act like we're helping out more.
Exactly, yeah. That's kind of like the love-hate relationship me and my label have with each other because I love to do everything on my own, bro.
Yeah.
So I filmed I did the whole thing by myself, and like I'm sure that wowed him at the time because I had just signed to them. So we came out with an album, and I'm like, boom, let's film this show. And they're just like, bet, let me help you out with it. And then they're like, wait, the fuck, it's today? Like you're filming it? And I'm like, yeah. I gotta
respect it though, out of you,
they
like
do.
having an individual who's determined, and they don't have to like get on your ass for anything, really.
Exactly. Like he's like he tells his other artists all the time to just like post on Instagram. Like that's a fight between him and other artists. And it's like me, I'm sending him my post for the week every Monday.
You got like 90 stories on your thing.
Yeah, exactly, bro. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They expect them to plan their photo shoots and everything.
But it works,
it's just like
man.
I do that shit myself. Yeah, bro. And I'm learning. And at the same time, he knows I want to open up my own label and do things like that in the future. So it's like he puts me in a position where I got to do shit myself anyway. Where I got to learn it myself. So I like that though. I'd rather have a disciplinary figure of someone just like making sure I'm on my shit as opposed to just doing everything on myself because I suck with discipline. I have the work ethic, but I suck with discipline in myself. Right. That's the worst part. But yeah, so Creative House though it was amazing, bro. We filmed it and we ended up having to go through the edit. So after that, since we had a year worth of editing, I'm like, all right, how the fuck am I gonna keep people interested in this show to still want to watch it a year from now? And it was a blessing because we ended up doing we threw a really big cookout, threw a couple pool parties, and we performed at a couple places. And then a couple people in the group are like, I got 2 places we could perform. And I'm like, shit, I got 4 places we can perform coming up. So like, let's run this tour. Yeah. So yeah, we did our first Creative House tour, and we sold out like a good 3 locations. And most of it was free. So 3 locations we were selling tickets, we sold out, bro. Right. Oh my God, like
that's amazing.
That's what I'm like, bro. Oh my God, bro. We sold out from a reality show where no one knew who these artists were. Right. And because we were promoting the show so well, the show hadn't even dropped yet. And everyone knows all the artists' names, bro, and they're coming out showing, I want to be a part of Creative House. They haven't even seen the show. So it's like I learned the power of marketing. Yeah. Because I'm 1 year out of college, and I'm like, wow, this shit's really like
shit
it works.
Yeah. I'm like, applied what I learned.
Exactly, bro. So so we went on tour. We chilled out for the winter, went on another tour in spring, and then it was about time for the show to come out, bro. And then we just started rolling out. Our photographer ended up blowing up in the meantime of the show coming out. So now he got a whole studio and shit. So he was doing all our shoots for free because he's like, without y'all, I wouldn't be here. So he did all. That's why everything looks so like clean and professional for the promotion. Because I ran out of money. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Like Creative House would have been even bigger if I didn't run out of money. But it taught me, okay, investors are important. You cannot pay for everything out of pocket. Yeah. So this is all lessons, bro. I'm just learning as I go. But like, it was a beautiful journey, man. And now we're transitioning back to Marc Bravo for this season. But Creative House at the beginning of next year is when we're going to probably pick back up with it. Right. Yep. Okay. Yes, sir.
And that was after your album, Allure, or was that?
That was after. We got together. My first mission with the label was for them to see how well I could do with a couple singles. And I'm like, I want to drop an album. Like, I'm an album guy. Black Tape. I feel like you can't listen to one song and really, like, resonate with me as an artist because I just have such a different style. You're going to have to get used to it. Right. To, like, warm up to you. So, yeah.
But Skydive did numbers. Wasn't that a single?
Oh, my God. Yeah. Bruh, so that's the best single I ever, like... That's the one thing I feel like I encompassed my style in one song. It was crazy. Yeah, I'm glad you just said that.
Yes, the Skydive is the like Marc Bravo. Like if you want to know who Marc Bravo is and what his sound is, listen to Skydive.
Yep, exactly.
That's the one.
That is the one because they said, all right, you're gonna need a single first before you drop this album. And I did a song actually with Mikey Moore from Florida was my first single. He's a dope artist. He signed with Rob Banks. And then I ended up Rob Banks fire, bro. So yeah, I worked with Mikey Moore. Shout out to Mikey. And then I came out with Skydive. Oh, and it's crazy. All right, so I'm gonna give you a little backstory with Skydive. Me and my brother were smoking in the middle of our neighborhood, and we were just listening to Skydive and 2 other new songs that I had. I think Bad Days was one of them. Okay. And we were sitting there smoking, and someone walks out of the darkness and comes up and was like, yo, is that your music? And I'm like, yeah, that's my music. Like, what's going on? I can't see his face, though. Like, this is pitch black. I'm like, what's going on, man? Like, so he was like, yeah, you know, I own this magazine called The Factory. I've been trying to get on The Factory for like 4 years.
Where did he come from?
Bro, he was smoking on the other bench, but we never like saw him because it's like pitch black.
Yeah.
So he walks up and was like, yo, that's your music, bro. It's fire. Like I'm the Factory. And I was like, nigga, I'm Marc Bravo. And he's like, oh yeah, you've been DMing us for like 2 years now. And I was like,
no response or what?
Yeah, like no response, but it's not even because like they don't like me. They probably just get a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, he was like, yo, like I've heard about you and everything. Like, let's get you on The Factory. Let's get you like kind of like plugged in. So, and he really loved skydive. And I was like, okay, this is like a big representation of the industry in the DMV. Skydive is now the single.
Yeah.
Yep. And when we did that song got over 100,000 streams, man. So
went off.
Yeah. Thank you.
So I was, as a fan, bro, I was super proud, man. I was just like, dude. Because that was the one that really did it and that took off, and you gained a lot of followers. You got like a lot more people looking at Marc Bravo, and that was the one. And that's perfect for the album, man. Like, thank you. You know,
thank you.
Album did well.
Album did very well. Shit, I got a new phone, but we're at like 600,000, 700,000 streams. Yeah, we'll probably break a mil by like next year.
Awesome, bro. That's amazing. Dude.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah. Album did amazing.
Yeah, man. It's random. It's funny how random things work like that, though.
What's up, buddy?
You know, like just in the right place, right time. You know, with like The Factory, and that's funny how that works. Sometimes you just sitting there and
exactly. Yeah. Yo, that spooked me though, cause like imagine just like reaching out to somebody for so long, bro, and he just walks up on you. He's like, hey, this your podcast? Like, he's just like, yeah, bro. Like, what I sent it to you like 20 times. So like that was dope. And then so now that I love House of Herbs too, because I got to a point in my career where it's like, you know, you really need to make a living. And I told you, like, making money in the DMV, money is the reason why a lot of people leave.
Right.
Because there's no industry to pay you for what you do. So like if you have $1,000 price for shows, the budgets are only $300 around here. So it's not gonna work. So like House of Herbs was able to like be able to help me financially, and as long as I'm helping them with the marketing and everything. So they was like, we love Creative House. The name is Creative House. We're House of Herbs. Let's sponsor y'all. Let's sponsor you. Anything you need, let us know. If you need to use our space, let us know. You know, just help bring more people in the door.
Yeah.
And this is kind of a product of the collaboration.
Dude, it's amazing in here. The ambiance, everything.
Thank you.
Man,
Yes, people coming in and out now, man.
Dude.
Like, I've just been promoting them on everything Creative House around the city, and it's been fruitful for the both of us. I would have had to pay for this space before, you know, so I could just come in and do my thing, bro. So that's love. So really appreciate them, and they're helping Creative House carry while I'm focusing on my Marc Bravo stuff.
Have you had any like pushback from the people in the city, or any static, or with anything that you're doing, or has it been pretty much positive the whole time? Or are there, you know, like people or companies or groups or anything that like ain't really fucking with you?
At some point you always are gonna have that hater. Like, I get why people move away. Right. Because, so I'll tell you one story, and if he sees this, I really don't care, bro, because I tried to call you about it. So I'm not gonna say his name, but we just threw a show called Shea Butter Show, and we threw this, and I had my mans. I was like, yo, pull up, I'll give you like 50 to do security, bro, for the 4 to 4 hours. He was like, cool, man, that's no problem. He pulls up, I see him there for security, and then the people that work there, they're like, yeah, you know, we'll watch the door around too. So I was like, all right, cool, we got double security. I'm walking in, we do the show, everything. I walk back out, I see this dude in a yellow shirt that says security on it. I don't, you know, I didn't ask you to come here, bro, but I'm like, cool, you're helping out too. We got triple security, say less. So, at the end, I go home and they're like, yeah, this dude's like talking shit about you. Like, yeah, you didn't pay him. You had him come out here, you know, do security, and you didn't pay him. And I'm like, bro, I didn't talk to this guy. I didn't know he was even coming. And like, he's threatening me to my friends, like, yeah, Bravo don't pay me, you gonna have me pull up and work for free. I'm gonna show him how crazy I am. Like, he's just saying wild shit. Like, and I'm just like, bro, I haven't talked to you in like 6 months. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I was like, that shit's crazy, but it's like people will create a whole scenario in their head. And that's kind of like how I see how Nip got shot in his own hood, you know? Like, It's just like no
Off
matter
some
how
petty
much
shit.
positivity that you try to spread, bro, it's always somebody that just feels like a direct threat
Yeah.
from your positivity because
Yeah.
they just can't. I don't know why, but it's just like it's just crazy. So I've had a couple of things this year where people kind of we rub each other the wrong way, but that's just business, man. And you know, if people want to take it beyond business, just, you know, be a man about it, especially when I try to call you. But you know, that's business, bro. It happens.
Yeah.
Yep.
So with the creative house, you guys doing it again? Is there gonna be like a season? What is it, like a season 2?
Yeah, season 2. So I'm going back now that I'm getting my money back up. I'm gonna do another big run with Creative House season 1 in terms of promotion.
Okay.
We're gonna go another big run to promote it because we didn't pick up the network that we want. Like, we have network offers, but I want a specific network for this. So I'm gonna do everything in my power to get it there. So I'm gonna do another press run, and we'll see how it goes. And then once we secure the budget for season 2, we'll move forward from there.
Okay.
Yep.
And then from
Exactly.
a solo standpoint, you working on another album? What you got going on?
Yes, sir. So right now we have a single coming up called Eastside Wavy.
Okay.
Eastside Wavy is the first single from the album. Eastside Wavy is also an alias of mine that represents it represents like the motion of water through music is Eastside Wavy.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be like the new me in a sense. Like Tyler has Igor. That's gonna kind of like be my aesthetic moving forward. And Eastside Wave is an amazing single, and it's gonna prepare us for the album that I have. I have the name of it, but I can't say it yet. But album coming very soon. I've been recording it for 2 years now.
Okay.
Yep. So it's gonna be a very beautiful piece.
That's good, man.
Yep. Yes, sir.
So with Creative House, how many people did you have like in there, and what exactly did they all do?
Good question. So we had 12 artists and we had 7 resources. So the 12 artists, of course, they were there to make music. And then we had, like I said, we had a podcast, we had a videographer, photographer, makeup artist, chef, the engineer for the studio. And then we had like a B-cam videographer too for people that wanted to pay like less for their music video.
Okay.
So that was their jobs. Yep.
So no lie, dude, I remember seeing the chef, and I was like, bro, I want to interview that guy. I just want to talk to him like about how he, you know, got into that, like, you know, because that's always interesting to me. It was like, you know, people like younger. I feel like I don't know a lot of like people our age or younger who really get into like making food like that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm
who
saying?
really do it.
It's like an art. It's like art at that point.
It definitely is, bro. And Chef Sticks, we have a show now.
Yeah, Chef Sticks. That's
we have a show with Chef Sticks now, man.
I want to talk to that dude.
Oh yeah, we can make that happen, bro. Like I love him, man. He came in and put in so much work because he wasn't in season 1. He came right after, and he helped us carry the name all the way up until we dropped the show.
Okay.
And the other chef, he went ghost, so it was perfect, man. And shout out to Chef Sticks, man.
Chef Sticks, man. Dope.
Yeah, Sticks and Stones.
So from the Creative House, then it was a competition, right? So like somebody won. Like who decided that? And like, did you decide that, or do you have like your own personal favorites, or you know, don't want to hurt anyone's feelings or nothing?
Nah, it's all good. A lot of them know who my favorites are. I'd say it, bro. I don't care. Favorites are a thing. So I just saw Keen on the way here, actually. It was crazy. He was being interviewed on a corner.
Oh, nice.
On my way here, and I stopped. I'm like, yo, what's up, bro? I actually want him to be a guest star in my show that I have coming up. So we'll talk a little about that later. But yeah, Keen Shamar was my overall favorite. And one thing going into the house that I forgot, I remember everything to a T. I forgot to bring judges.
Oh,
yes, that's the one thing. I'm like, shit, we have everything but judges. And then when we got there, though, somebody was like, yo, we kind of came up with this together. We were like, yo, we should make the judges be the resources. Because
there you go. That
yeah,
works.
they got to see everything that we don't get to see. Like, they got to watch them in their element in different parts that we're not watching. So that was dope. And everyone, I didn't know Akeen at first, but everyone kept coming back to me, like photographer, videographer, studio engineer, everything was like, yo, Akeen, keep an eye on this dude. He's really good. And then he killed my Lil Saint music video. He was the one that was like doing the crumping in the Lil Saint video. So he did everything to a T, participated in everything, was freestyling, one of the best. So Akeen, once we said he won, no one really disagreed with it. Like it was like everyone was like, they respected it.
Yeah.
My favorites from the show, though, I'll go ahead and say Akeen Shamar. Clean Water is like one of my favorites because it's my favorite style of hip hop. Like he is like a Joey Badass,
okay.
pro era type of style. When you see him, he was like Redman mixed with. Why is my mind drawing a blank? Fuck, I can't think of it right now. I'm gonna think of it later. But yeah, he's like a new Redman though, in a sense. So I like Clean Water. Apo is one of the best freestyles I've ever heard in my life. He's fire. Empower, who's now my assistant, she's worked her way up to being my assistant, and we're doing her own show. I think she's utilized the most from Creative House because she flew from Tampa to be in it,
Right.
and now she lives here. Like
Okay.
we moved her here, and she's making a living out here, like kind of better than a lot of
That's
artists that I was
awesome.
already out here
Yeah.
for years. Yeah, so for in her 3 months here, she's throwing her first show on Sunday, man. So shout out to Empower. Big Dame was a hard worker. And then everyone else was just like cool for the ambiance of the show. But I would say the ones who really almost won were, it was between like Apo, Clean Water, Akeem Shamar, Empower, and Big Dame.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice, man.
Yep. But yeah, everyone's talented, but those were the most potential. Mhm.
That's good. You had so many like people participating and like really getting into it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they weren't playing. They had
Yeah.
everything was scheduled out. But after like the first hour, everything was booked up.
Yeah. So speaking of shows, when's the last time you've done a show, and do you have any like planned in the future?
Yeah, so I opened up for Fat Man Key this year. Opened up for
Fire.
Junie. Yeah. Fat Man Key, yo, he's so. I'll tell you a story between me and Key too. So
He's dope, man.
yeah, I went backstage and I was putting on my roller skates, and Fat Man Key, and there was another dude from Delaware, big artist too. He was like, "Yo, what the fuck are you about to do, bro?" Like, they're like, "Yo, well, you got skates on, a Michael Vick jersey." He was like, "I gotta go out there and see your set." And when I was performing, I saw them run out, look at my set, and then when I got backstage, it was like, "Yo, you seen us? We ran out there for a second, bro." He's like, "Your shit was fire, bro. We let us skate." So next time I meet Key, he'll know exactly who I am from. I was like, "I'm a nigga with the skates
That's
from
dope,
DC."
bro.
So like, yeah, that was dope. Open up for Junie. Open up for Kalen for real. That's
Okay.
my dog. I know y'all. He's from California, right?
I don't know.
Oh, Kalen for real. Yeah, he's from out there. I think
I'm
so.
gonna have to check him out.
Yeah, bro, he's really dope. Kalen for real. Sadie Hendrix, I opened up for them in Orlando, so that was really cool. They were really dope. So now it's kind of like my turn to open up my own show.
There you go.
September 25th. It's gonna be at Pie Shop. I'm gonna have a couple big artists: Odd Mojo, Squeezo, Really Real coming down from New York. It's gonna be a vibe, and I'm gonna set the show up. My set's gonna be like a play, so it's gonna kind of tell the story of Marc Bravo,
Okay.
like play style. So I'm gonna have like actresses and everything along my set. And it's gonna be a show, man. I always love to give a show, and it's called The Bravo Show. And yeah, it's gonna be a vibe, man. Pull up, y'all already know. Come show some love. We're gonna have some fun.
September 26th
25th.
or 25th.
Yeah,
Is that
September
a Saturday?
25th. Sunday.
Sunday?
Yep.
Okay. Shit, I'm gonna try to go to that. You know.
Oh yeah, shoot, yeah. I would
Yeah,
love for y'all
man.
to come out, man. This
I'm
show's
trying
gonna
to see
sell
it.
out
I'm
for
trying to
sure.
see the Bravo show, especially with everything you got going on.
Yeah, please. And there's a lot of people
Yeah.
in that room I want y'all to meet too and get to know. 'Cause
Yeah, for sure.
You'll see what I mean, bro. If you come to that show, you'll see we are the most talented area, bro. Everyone that I'm having there is just like a special, unique talent, man. So it's dope.
Yeah. Man, I've been saying that too. So I'm just saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Because I be peeping.
Yes, sir.
So, like everybody has their own movement, but DMV really doing it out here, and I just love the versatility out here. It's
Thank
not
you.
like one sound. It's actually crazy how
It's so many lanes, bro.
Yeah.
We have punk rock, rap, neo soul, majestic music. Like it's just so much shit out here, bro, and it's love.
Yeah.
And I'll say one more funny story before we get out
All
here.
right.
One of the artists on my lineup, I just found out on the way here, and I hope he doesn't watch this. His mom, me and her used to talk on Facebook dating.
Facebook dating.
Yes, and she called me today and was like, "Yo, my son's gonna be in your show. I'm pulling up." So this is gonna be
Does he know?
interesting. No, so I have to act
it's
like I
bad.
don't know his mom.
Dang, he
Yeah.
gonna be hurt, bro.
Yeah, I know. I haven't done anything with his mom. I'm gonna be like, "Look, bro, where your mom's at, bro?"
Where your mom?
Where your mom? But nah, yo,
that's
shout out
foul.
to bro. You gonna kill it this week too, man. I can't wait to meet your family.
Man, Marc Bravo, man.
It's a pleasure,
Hey,
man.
it's a super pleasure, bro.
Yo.
It's been a long time.
Yes,
so
sir.
Washington, D.C. is a beautiful city.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank
So
you.
Is that what it is? Is it a city? What is a state? What state
It's a
is it
district.
part of? There you go. It's not. It's its own thing.
Yeah, it's
huh?
not a state. It's a district of. They have a whole statehood battle
know
going on
shit
right
out
now.
here.
Yep, the District of Columbia. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. The nation's capital. That's what Forrest Gump said. Huh?
The nation's capital. Yes,
But
sir.
this is the Mulberry Podcast. This is Marc Bravo. You guys make sure to tune in. Make sure to check out his music. And, man, keep an eye on him, man. He's going to blow up one day. I'm telling you.
Yes, sir.
So
Love.
we'll see you guys.
Love.